Hello everyone, let me tell you a story about how thin the line is between the American dream and a complete nightmare. This is not a story about a guy living in a basement. This is a story about a man who had it all: the house in the suburbs, the luxury SUV, the reputation, and the perfect marriage. The protagonist of today's story refused to appear on camera for obvious reasons, as he is currently serving probation and trying to rebuild a shattered life. But he sent me his journals and court transcripts so I could tell you exactly how he destroyed his reality. Let's go back to 2019. We are in a wealthy suburb of Chicago. Meet Mark. He is 32 years old. Mark is what they call a top producer in the real estate world. If you looked at his Instagram feed from that time, you would probably hate him just a little bit. Perfect teeth, tailored suits, closing deals on million-dollar homes every other week. He is married to Sarah, a sweet, intelligent woman who works as a Pilates instructor. They are that couple you see at Whole Foods and think, wow, they really made it. They live in a beautiful $800,000 house in a gated community. They have a golden retriever. They are talking about having their first baby. But here's the thing about Mark. Mark has a secret that is rotting him from the inside out. Since his college days, Mark liked to bet. It started innocently enough with sports: NFL Sundays, March Madness brackets, normal stuff that millions of American men do. But for Mark, the dopamine hit from sports wasn't fast enough. A football game takes 3 hours to finish. Mark needed something faster. He needed the result now. One night, while waiting for a client who was late to a showing, Mark downloaded an offshore crypto casino app. He did it just to kill time. He deposited $500. He played online blackjack. In 10 minutes, he turned $500 into $5,000. The client finally arrived, and Mark showed the house, smiling, shaking hands, discussing school districts and property taxes. But inside his pocket, his hand was clutching the phone, burning up. He felt like a god. He had made more money in 10 minutes on his phone than his commission on that rental would be. That was the beginning of the end. But the slide wasn't instant. It was a slow burn. For 2 years, Mark lived a double life. By day, he was the star realtor, the pillar of the community. By night, he was a degenerate gambler. He would wait for Sarah to go to sleep. He would go downstairs to his home office, pour a glass of expensive bourbon, and play until 4 in the morning. He wasn't playing for fun anymore. He was playing to feel something. He was chasing a high that was becoming harder and harder to catch. By the middle of 2021, Mark had blown through his personal savings, about $60,000 gone. He started using credit cards. He maxed out his Amex, then his Visa, then the MasterCard he opened in secret. Sarah noticed he was stressed. She would ask him, "Honey, is it the market? Is work hard right now?" And here comes the lie. Mark told her, "Yeah, inventory is low, interest rates are weird. It is just a stressful quarter." He used her empathy against her. She started cooking him nice dinners, giving him massages, trying to lower his stress, while he was downstairs gambling away their future child's college fund. But then, the miracle happened. The golden ticket. It was a Tuesday. Mark was down bad. He was $120,000 in debt across credit cards and personal loans. The minimum payments were drowning him. He took the last available cash from a line of credit, $5,000, and put it all on a high-volatility slot machine on his phone. He spun. Nothing. He spun again. Nothing. He was down to his last $400. And then, the screen exploded. Grand jackpot. $380,000. He stared at the screen. He didn't scream. He didn't jump. He just started crying. He felt like a prisoner who was just given a pardon 1 minute before execution. $380,000. This was enough to pay off every single credit card. It was enough to pay off the secret personal loans, and he would still have over $200,000 left in cash. He withdrew the money. It hit his bank account. He paid off the debts. The mailbox was no longer filled with final notice letters. His credit score started to heal. He took Sarah to a Michelin star restaurant in downtown Chicago. He looked her in the eyes and said, "Baby, the bad quarter is over. I closed a massive deal. We are back." He bought her a Cartier bracelet. He felt like the man he pretended to be. Now, any rational person would delete the casino app, block the websites, and thank God for the second chance. But a gambling addict is not rational. 2 weeks later, just 2 weeks. Mark is sitting in his home office. He looks at the remaining $200,000 in his savings account, and the voice in his head speaks up. It says, "You won $380,000 with just $5,000. Imagine what you could win if you played with $50,000. You could retire. You could buy a boat. You could buy Sarah that lake house she wants." Mark listens to the voice. He deposits $10,000. Just for fun, he tells himself. He loses it in an hour. He gets angry. He wants it back. He deposits $20,000, loses it. Now he is chasing, he is sweating. He deposits $50,000. In one night, literally from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., Mark loses the entire remaining $200,000. Everything he had left from the jackpot. Gone. He walks upstairs as the sun is rising. Sarah is waking up making coffee. She smiles at him. "Good morning. You were working late?" He looks at her, dead inside, and says, "Yeah, just paperwork." He goes to the shower and vomits. Now he is back to zero. But it is worse than before, because now he has tasted the win. He knows it is possible. He needs capital. But banks won't give him more loans yet. So he does the unthinkable. As a real estate agent, Mark sometimes held earnest money checks. These are deposits from clients to secure a house before closing. Usually, this goes to a title company, but sometimes, for speed, it sat in his escrow account for a few days. A client, an elderly couple, the Millers, were buying a retirement condo. They wired $45,000 as a deposit. Mark looked at that money in the account. He told himself, "I just need to borrow it for 24 hours. I will double it, put the $45,000 back, and keep the profit. No one will know." It is a victimless crime. He transferred the client's money to the casino. He played, he lost. Now, the Miller's closing date is in 10 days. He needs $45,000 or he goes to jail for embezzlement and loses his license. Panic sets in. Real, primal fear. He needs to chase. He needs to win back the $45,000. He takes another deposit from another client, $30,000. He loses that too. Now, he is down $75,000 of stolen client money. And the closing dates are approaching. The clock is ticking. He starts selling things. He sells his Rolex watches. He sells his collection of rare sneakers. He tells Sarah he is becoming a minimalist and decluttering. He gets about $20,000. He gambles it, trying to hit a massive parlay on a UFC fight. He loses. There is nothing left to sell. Except one thing. Sarah's diamond engagement ring. It was a 2-carat diamond, appraised at $25,000. One morning, while Sarah was in the shower, Mark took the ring from her jewelry box. He drove to a pawn shop 3 towns over. He pawned the ring for $8,000. He immediately went to a jeweler he knew and bought a fake, a high-quality cubic zirconia replica that looked exactly the same to the naked eye. It cost him $200. He rushed home and put the fake ring back in the box. Sarah came out of the shower, got dressed, and put on the ring. She looked at it, smiled, and kissed Mark. She was wearing a piece of glass, and Mark had $7,800 cash in his pocket. He deposited the cash, and yes, you guessed it, he lost it all in 40 minutes playing high-stakes roulette. Now, D-Day is coming. The Millers need their money in 48 hours. The other client needs their money next week. He needs $75,000 fast, or his life is over. He can't get a loan. He has no assets. He is sitting in his luxury SUV, staring at the dashboard, and he comes up with a plan. A plan so sick, so twisted, it shows you how addiction rewires a human brain. The plan was simple. Insurance fraud. Mark has a high-end homeowner's insurance policy. It covers theft of cash, jewelry, and electronics up to $100,000. He knows a guy from his old neighborhood, a sketchy contractor named Vinny. Mark meets Vinny in a diner parking lot. He offers Vinny $5,000 to come to his house, kick in the door, tie him and his wife up, and steal the jewelry and electronics. Mark explains, "It has to look real. My wife will be there. You have to scare her, or the police won't believe it." Think about that. He is paying a stranger to point a gun at the woman he loves, the mother of his future children, just to get money to cover his gambling losses. The night of the robbery arrives. It is a Tuesday, 9 p.m. Mark and Sarah are watching Netflix on the couch. Sarah is resting her head on his shoulder. Mark's heart is pounding. He keeps checking his watch. Suddenly, there is a massive crash. The back door is kicked in. Two men in ski masks rush in with handguns. Sarah screams. A scream Mark says still haunts him in his nightmares. The men are rough. They grab Mark, throw him to the floor. They grab Sarah by the hair. They duct tape their hands behind their backs. They duct tape their mouths. Sarah is crying, hyperventilating. Mark is acting scared, but he is making eye contact with Vinny, signaling him to take the specific items. They take the laptops. They take the watches, the cheap ones Mark bought to replace the Rolexes. And then, Vinny grabs Sarah's hand. He rips the engagement ring off her finger. The fake ring. The robbers run out. They drive away. Mark waits 2 minutes, then manages to free himself and calls 911. Police arrive. Sarah is in shock. She is shaking uncontrollably. She can't speak. The paramedics have to give her a sedative. Mark gives his statement. He plays the victim perfectly. He cries. He holds his wife. He lists the stolen items for the police report, the watches, the electronics, and the $25,000 diamond ring. The next day, Mark files the insurance claim. He expects a payout of around $80,000, enough to cover the stolen client money. He thinks he has pulled it off. He thinks he is a genius. But Mark made a mistake, a very stupid mistake. The police in the suburbs take home invasions very seriously. Detectives started checking every pawn shop in a 50-mile radius for the stolen items. Usually, thieves wait to pawn things, but the police check the records anyway. And what do they find? They find a record of Mark himself pawning a 2-carat diamond ring just 3 days before the robbery. The serial number on the diamond matched the appraisal Mark submitted to the insurance company. The detectives are confused. Why would a man pawn his wife's ring 3 days before it was stolen by armed robbers? They bring Mark in for questioning. At first, he denies it, but then they show him the security camera footage from the pawn shop. Mark breaks, but he doesn't confess to the staged robbery yet. He lies again. He says, "I pawned the ring because we needed cash, and I bought a fake one so she wouldn't know. The robbery was real, I swear. The detectives are suspicious. They dig deeper into his finances. They find the massive gambling losses. They find the empty escrow account. They realize the motive. They look at phone records. They find the calls to Vinny. They pick up Vinny. Vinny is a career criminal. He is not going down for kidnapping and armed robbery alone." Vinny flips on Mark immediately. He tells them everything. He tells them Mark hired him. He tells them Mark told him to scare the wife. Mark is arrested at his office. He is led out in handcuffs in front of his colleagues. The news hits the local papers. Top realtor stages home invasion, terrorizes wife to pay gambling debts. Sarah finds out everything at the police station. She finds out about the gambling. She finds out about the stolen money. She finds out the ring on her finger was fake. But the worst part, the part that broke her, was knowing that the man she slept next to hired men to attack her. That the trauma she felt, the fear of dying on that living room floor, was orchestrated by her husband. She divorced him immediately. She moved back in with her parents. She had a miscarriage a week later due to the extreme stress and trauma. That was the child they were trying for. Mark never got to see that child. Mark was sentenced to 5 years in prison for insurance fraud, embezzlement, and conspiracy. He was released early on probation, but his life is over. He lost his real estate license permanently. He is a felon. He has millions of dollars in civil judgments against him from the insurance company and the clients he stole from. I spoke to Mark recently. He is 37 years old now. He lives in a small studio apartment near the airport. He works in a warehouse packing boxes for minimum wage. He drives an old, beaten-up sedan. He has no friends. His family cut him off. He hasn't spoken to Sarah in 4 years. He told me something that stuck with me. He said, "You know, people think the worst part is the prison or the poverty. It isn't. The worst part is the memory. I have a recurring dream where I am back in that moment, staring at the slot machine with $380,000 on the screen. In the dream, I cash out. I delete the app. I go upstairs and hug my wife. We have the baby. We live happily ever after. And then I wake up. I wake up in this cold room on this mattress, and I realize that I had the winning ticket. I had the life everyone dreams of, and I traded it all for a few flashes of light on a phone screen." He told me he still gets the urge. Even now, with nothing left in his pockets, sometimes he walks past a gas station and sees the lottery tickets, and his heart jumps. He thinks, maybe this time. But then he looks at his hands, the hands that signed the papers to destroy his own family. And he keeps walking. This story is a warning. Gambling addiction is not just about losing money. It is about losing your soul. It creates a version of you that is capable of anything. A version of you that looks at your terrified wife and sees only an insurance payout. If you are playing and you think you can stop whenever you want, just remember Mark. Remember that he thought he was in control too, right up until the moment the handcuffs clicked. If you or someone you know is struggling, get help before the only way out is a staged robbery or a rope. Thanks for listening. Stay safe and keep your wallet closed.